What is going on, Bulls Nation? Back again for another video. Some, what ifs in here. So we all know that the Bulls didn't make any moves on the trade deadline. And I'm not even mad about that. I'm not mad about that. I'm perfectly fine with that. I think we have a pretty solid team. It's hard to assess. We know that we needed a front court. I think the Bulls know that, but they are banking on two things. Some people coming back, which I don't know if that would completely solve the problem, but they're also banking on some buyout candidates that we might get them for cheap. Because I honestly don't blame them for not trading some pieces because we do need help in every category at this point. We haven't been healthy all year. And one thing that I never thought would happen was because I know Toronto refused to buy out Goran Dragic, but now he got traded to San Antonio, and reports are he's going to be bought out by San Antonio, and there are several teams that are buying for his services, and one of them, which is the Bulls. And I've said this a long time ago. We as good and as deep as our guard position is, we needed a veteran to calm things down when things are getting tight. Slow things down, walk the ball down. Sort of a Rondo esque, type of guard, or somebody like George Hill. But there wasn't one. I never thought that the Dragic one would be a thing because he's just out of the price range. He's making a lot of money this year, but if he's gonna be bought out, he could sign for a minimum, and potentially offset that with the Spurs, and that's normally how buyout works. Normally, these guys want to go to a contending team. Now there are several teams apparently that are buying for his services. One of which the Bulls, the Lakers, not San Antonio, I guess Clippers as well, and the Bucks. Now with the Bulls, it is very interesting, and if I was him in the short term, it is attractive because currently constructed, we only have Io and Kobe White. I think if he, you know, gets in here, and I believe he's in shape. Therefore, with all accounts, there were reports that he's been training out in Florida. I don't think the Heat can get him back, or maybe they could because he made a stop at Miami. No, Toronto. I believe he could. It is not like the Thad Young situation where we can't technically get Thad Young. I mean, I think if he gets bought out, then he can go back to Chicago. But if he goes to Chicago right now, I believe we can plug him in as our starting point guard, like right away, and we can put Io as shooting guard or Kobe, depending. Or I mean, we got Levine. If Levine, goes down an injury, then we relegate back Io and Kobe back on the bench, and everything will be great. The problem is once our guards come back, like Caruso and Ball, that's now where does he belong? Because now we have a 5 guard rotation. However, I would say this: Billy Donovan is not shy to do a 3 guard, lineup out there. So if you got, but I think there's a lot of value in Goran Dragic coming to the Bulls. Initially, you don't see it, but he would take, like as of the moment in the next month or so, because for let's assume the worst here, and let's say our guys, which is Caruso and Ball, had setbacks, and let's put them into the 6 weeks more category. So technically, they'll be back, towards latter end of March, maybe mid March. There's a lot of games to be played. And I think Dragic can solidify our rotation as of the moment, giving us a solid backcourt of him and Levine, Kobe, and Io. That's, that I think that should give us enough time. And then once the two comes back, then we go back to our regular rotation. The one who's going to suffer most likely with minutes would be Kobe. Or I would say Kobe, because Io provides really good minutes. But like looking back at it now, it might be Io as well. He's a rookie. Kobe can play the 2. It's not like Io can't, but I think Billy Donovan can make it work. I'm excited to see this. I've been longing for a guard, an intelligent guard like him. It's not like we have no intelligent guards. Ball is really savvy. So is Ayo, especially for his age. I just like the veteran savviness of somebody like Dragic. And plus we don't even know if Dragic is gonna play through the playoffs. He's always injured. I think he's a good short-term solution for the Bulls. I don't know if we're attracted too much to Dragic compared to let's say something like Dallas. I know they already got Dinwiddie, but the ties that he does have with Duca is pretty strong, and they got Brunson as well. I don't know if they're as deep as the Bulls, or I don't know if he's looking as the Bulls as that deep, but hopefully we can work our magic to get somebody right now. Right now, I'm not talking about long term. I'm not even looking about the future in here, which we could potentially, if he stays and we have his bird rights and he's older, we don't have to pay him as much. I think he knows what he's worth at this point of his career, and then we can, flip Kobe for because Kobe is up for another contract extension, so maybe we can use him as a trade chip on the off season. So we'll see what happens, but I like the idea. I like the idea for now and also for the future. But let me know in the comments how you feel about this potential buyout. Again, guys, we're talking about buyouts here. If we do that, most likely we don't have a roster spot. We can release somebody like, Alfonso McKinney or Solomon Hill, which I do like him as well. But, we're talking about Goran Dragic here. I would release him and Matt Thomas as well. So, again, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you are a Bulls fan and you're listening to this, or you just like NBA in general, consider subbing to the channel. It really does help the channel out. Plus, it makes me really happy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.